Well, we're sitting here chatting with Aaron Bennett. Aaron is one of the videographers and has been with us for quite some time. Has the dubious task of sorting through hours and hours of footage and logging it in help in conjunction with the editors, making their job just go a little bit quicker. Somebody's got to sit and log and look at every bit of this footage. So he's been doing that, and sometimes we get a little sidetracked. You know, we pick up a deer and we look at it and try and study him, figure out how old he is, if he's one we knew, if we got pictures of him and all that. But Aaron's been doing a really, really good job. Now, one of the things that I've got that sometimes some of the good folks happen to send in is a few questions that we're going to answer here on Inner Circle. So I'm going to read the question and then I'll try and answer it to the best of my ability. And everybody has an opinion, so I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's the gospel. I'm just saying this is an opinion, and really it's from experience more than anything. So the first one comes from Todd Brado. It says, my question for Mark and Terry is I want to know their thoughts on the second rut and how the hunting should take place. I'm by far no pro hunter, but do spend a lot of hours hunting white-tailed deer, and there are a few things that I believe are overrated, with the second rut being one of them. I will say that I do believe the deer can and do breed any time between October and January, but as far as hunting a second rut, I think you are better off hunting late season food and things and hope a hot doe comes out but I don't believe, so his verbiage is not perfect, but it's still good. But I don't believe you can skip a few weeks in November, then go back into, say, rut stands, hoping a hot doe will come in. The reason that I ask is because I got a lot of crap from Alex Rutledge and his fans for saying this on one of his posts. Me personally, I'd rather hunt late food plots after the last week in November or the first week in December. But as far as hunting so-called rut stands, I feel it's a waste of hunting hours, so what are your thoughts? Well, number one, Alex Rutledge is a really, really good friend of ours, so I'm not going to get into one of those deals where it's a he said, she said. But what I will tell you from experience is, depending on what that moon phase is, if the moon phase is a little bit late, which it was this year, we didn't get that full moon till the 22nd or 23rd of November, so it wasn't the most opportune time to see a lot of heated rut activity during that first rut, nor was it really conducive for the second rut. And I do think there's a lot of substance to it. Last year we had almost really the opposite. It was an early moon. So I was predicting a second rut last year, and we had a really, really good second rut last year. So in answer to your question, and I won't be real specific, but weather plays such an important part when it comes to first rut, second rut, and exposing parts of that rut. If you've got cold temperatures, you're going to expose some things that you normally wouldn't see. If it's warm weather, a lot of that happens at night. You know, the rut is a little more subdued, and you rarely see the activity that you're talking about. But that it's all of those elements have to coincide. It has to be weather. There has to be cold. It has to be high pressure. You have to have the right moon, to where it falls somewhere between the 10th and actually 7th through the 12th or somewhere in that vicinity where it goes full, because typically those first available does pop about 7 to 10 days after that full moon. So you can't really say that it's a defined first rut, second rut. And I agree with you, Todd, that that late season hunting can be awesome. It really can. But there too, you have to have the right weather. So there's so many different elements that expose that rut. It really can't boil down to a first rut or second rut. And I do hear a lot of people talk about it, and we do as well. But you have to take into consideration all the other elements that expose it.